Okay, hey everybody, we are on 4-5. We're talking about summation of a sequence. All right, now remember, a sequence is simply just an ordered list of numbers. And so taking a problem from your homework from the book, if we had an ordered list of numbers that was 6 and 11 and 16 and 21 on up to, say, 116, I'm running out of space there, but we'll just continue it up to 116. That would be a sequence. But a series is when we take that sequence and we put a plus sign where the commas are and we're adding it up. We're talking about the summation, or the grand total of 6 plus 11 plus 16 plus 21 plus all the way up until we're adding the last number of this sequence, and we're adding 116. Okay? So both words start with S. They're frequently confused. It's not really a big deal if you know the difference between the two words, but what is a big deal is that you're able to use the appropriate technique. When you're asked to add up a list of numbers, and in this case we're talking about an arithmetic sequence because they're going up by 5 each time, we can find the sum of all those numbers by using a very simple formula. Right now I'm not going to worry about the formula, I'll teach that to you in class, but I want you to understand the way we write these number patterns, because it's pretty awkward to just list this like this. So mathematicians developed a shortcut way of writing out this type of a series by using what's called sigma notation. All right, it's also called summation notation. All right, so you get a little bit of a rhyming thing going on there. All right, so if we have a series like this that we're going to add up all of the numbers from 6 to 116 that are going up by 5, we use the following notation. We use this symbol, that's the Greek letter sigma. It's just sort of like, kind of like an E, but it's actually the Greek letter for S, and S stands for adding up or summation of this. So it's called sigma, and we have to say where are we going to start in terms of our counting. Well, we're going to start by calling this the first term. Sometimes it's called the zero term, but we're going to call it in our book almost consistently it's called the first term. So, and we're going to give it a letter, and it's usually N, sometimes it's K, but don't get hung up about what letter it is. It has no particular meaning other than saying that that's our variable we're using. N equals 1, and then we need to figure out how many terms we're counting up to get to 116. Okay, so that's sort of what you did in your first part of your homework for tonight before you get to this video. So you can pause this and you can solve this one just to see how sharp you are, but it's like right out of problem 20 or 21 or 22 that you did in your homework. Okay, so pause it and tell me how many terms are there if I'm adding them up by 5 to get to 116. Okay, all right, you're back, and you found out that if you basically are taking 6 away from 116, you get 110. If you divide that by 5, you get 22, and then you add 1. So there are 23 terms. Starting at the first term, we're going to go up to 23 terms in this series. And then we have just simply the explicit formula, which you use that explicit formula to solve this. And that is going to be the first term, 6, and then plus 5 times n minus 1. Okay, so if you remember, this is the formula I showed you in the book. All right, and that's that explicit formula. So this notation is our shortcut way of writing this formula, or this series of numbers with the addition sign. The sigma tells you we're adding it all up. That's where the plus sign comes from. This formula, when we plug in 1, will give us our first term. If we wanted to, we can plug in 2. That'll give us 11. We can plug in 3, get 16, and we can plug in 23 and get 116. And that will tell us, this will tell us exactly what this list of numbers is. Okay? So why don't you practice with this one, and again you'll pause it and you'll tell me the answer. I want you to tell me what is this series when n equals 1 and we're going up to 12, and we're going to do 7 plus 3 times n minus 1. Okay? What is that list of numbers? Where does it start? Where does it end? How many total terms does it have? Okay?